I hate you.
Well, I hate you.
Except now that I think about it, I actually love you.
Well, I love you too.
And scene. They can't all be winners, folks.
Oh yeah, because your intros are so good.
We love each other now, remember?
Oh, right, sorry.
Hi, my name's B, and welcome to my channel. Mama Needs to Read Romance, and do a really cool collab with some fabulous booktubers. I can't wait to get started. My bread and butter is cinnamon roll heroes, sweet guys, friends to lovers. However, as I was thinking, I realized I could rattle off 15 rapid fire books that I love that are enemies to lovers. I am so excited that she brought this up to me. I have everybody else that's done this collab as well listed in my description box. Be sure to check them out. I had no idea I loved Rivals to Lovers as much as I did until I started looking at all the books I loved that had that trope. So let's get started. Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. This was just published July 11th. I actually had the pleasure of meeting the great Julie Soto the other day. Not only did I meet her, I got this signed, but also I won a copy. They had a raffle while we were there, and I got a UK copy as well. This is dual timelines. We have a wedding planner and a florist. They have to work together for the wedding of the century, but they hate each other. They used to be lovers. It blew up in their faces. He's a grump. She's not really sunshine exactly. This book is so compelling, so fun, so spicy. They've actually already optioned it for a TV series, folks. So get in on this soon before the show starts. I can't wait. Another one of my favorite author, or should I say authors, Christina Lauren, the Unhoneymooners. We have the best man and the maid of honor. They wind up on a honeymoon that's not theirs because the groom and bride got so sick at the wedding buffet. These two have hated each other for years, although secretly, have they? This is set in beautiful Maui, where we get to see them realize new things about themselves and the bride and groom as they fall head over heels for each other. Such a fun ride. What? I didn't just change my shirt again. You changed your shirt again. Continuity issues. I absolutely adore Abby Jimenez, and her most recent release that came out this spring, Yours Truly, is no exception. We have two doctors who, at the beginning, we believe are vying for the same position at a hospital. She quickly realizes, though, he's not the horrible man that she thinks he is. They become quick friends, and then, through fake dating, become something much more. This book was so sweet, so yummy, and with anxiety rep to boot. I loved it so much. Abby Jimenez knocks another one out of the park. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Devraj Kumar is my book husband. He's a Stygorn, which of course means he's a vampire and he's also a warrior. Oh, and he's a Bollywood actor. But unfortunately, this book starts out with him hitting our heroine with his car, his very fancy car. Well, they hate one another, or at least she hates him, until she realizes he's actually a really great guy, a really yummy guy. This witch and this vampire go on some exciting adventures together as they fall deeply, deeply in love. I think he falls first, actually. And come to think of it, I think all of these so far are he falls first. But we're focusing on enemies to lovers. So let's talk more about that. He pursues her. He wears her down in the best way. Can't recommend this highly enough. I'm going to reread this in October for sure. A great paranormal romance. I almost didn't read this one. The Deal by Elle Kennedy. It's off-campus book one. I can't wait to read the rest of the series. It's a hockey romance set at college, and I didn't care for it because I didn't like our hero at first, but my online friend said, wait, it gets better. And yes, it does. He needs help with his grades. She needs some money. She takes him up on a tutoring offer, but they hate each other at first. Quickly, though, they become friends, and then it becomes something more. It was spicy. It was really deep. I loved it so much. This was my first Elle Kennedy, and I cannot wait to read more of this author and the series. You could have knocked me over with a feather when I got this at the used bookstore the other day. Book 5 of the Bergman Brothers series, Everything for You by Chloe Leese. We have the fabulous Oliver. He is co-captains with Gavin. One's a rising star, one's on his way out due to chronic pain. These two find comfort in each other's arms, though this guy is really bristly and gruff at first, which made it even more fabulous as he knocked his walls down. I loved seeing them turn from the bitterest enemies to the most delicious of lovers. So good. I've become a huge fan of Elena Armis. She has a new book called The Long Shot, which is out in September, by the way. Cannot wait to get my hands on that one. This is book 1 of the Spanish Love Deception series, The Spanish Love Deception. Catalina is going home to Spain for a wedding. She's going to be up against her ex, who was just awful. She needs a fake date. Enter Aaron. The two of them have worked together for years and hate each other's guts, but he is willing to be her fake date in Spain. This book was so hot. He plays it close to the vest, and as you learn more and more about how he feels about her, it was so much fun. I was breathless half the time reading this. I haven't read many authors that can do slow burn like this woman, and then it explodes, and it is quite fun. If you haven't read this one or The American Roommate Experiment, which is book 2, highly recommend it. If you know me at all, you know I love Allie Hazelwood. We've got Bea and Levi. They've hated each other. They're arch enemies. Unfortunately, they've been arch enemies since college. And all these years later, they are now forced to work together on a project. How can it get done? And does he actually hate her? We're not sure. But he sure seems to. And she certainly hates his guts. As with any Allie Hazelwood, I laughed out loud. I swooned. It was steamy. There were moments that made my jaw drop. Twists and turns, science, all that good stuff. So if you like any Allie Hazelwood and you haven't read Love on the Brain, get to it. This one came out last summer, but it bears repeating. Emily Henry, Book Lovers. I enjoyed this so much. I was a toss-up between which enemies to lovers I wanted to go with from her for this video. I was either going to go with Book Lovers or Beach Read, but I feel like Book Lovers is a little bit lighter, so I'm going to go with this one, although honestly, you can't go wrong with either one of these if you're going Emily Henry enemies to lovers. But talking about Book Lovers, we have 2 editors who wind up in the same small town for the summer. They both have their own baggage that they are also dealing with. This was my first Emily Henry. I was so surprised at how well she did slow burn and steamy. The way that we learn more and more about characters and they're revealed to us over time, especially the ones that, again, they play it close to the vest, which made it even more rewarding as we get to learn who they are as people and why sometimes people that seem a little gruff and rough are actually real marshmallows underneath. So I enjoyed this so much, and it's great for the summer. I just read this as part of the Summer of Tessadair read-along created by the incredible Rachel Reads and Sings. Such a good time. This is the first book in the Spindle Cove series. We have a woman who basically runs all of Spindle Cove and a man who's just been tasked with leading the militia of few men that actually remain in Spindle Cove. So the two of them butt heads constantly over how this town should be run, and the passion that they have for the way things need to be turns quickly into passion for each other. I laughed, I swooned, I sighed, I fell in love with both characters as well as the fabulous Spindle Cove. I've talked about this so much, so I'm sorry that I'm repeating myself, but it needs to be said in this video. Kate Bateman, Book 2, Ruthless Rival Series, A Daring Pursuit. We have people from rival families. They have hated each other forever. She's embroiled in a scandal. Someone offers her a loveless marriage, so she's going to take it. But he says, no, you can't. You need to know how good love can be, and you need to let me show you. Sounds lame, maybe, but it was fantastic. He's teaching her while he's worshiping her, while he's adoring her. I loved it so much. There's also excitement, adventure, twists that you may not see coming. This book had it all. One of my favorite historical romances that I've read recently. What kind of historical romance fan would I be if I didn't bring up It Happened One Autumn by Lisa Kleypas? We have two people that are extremely stubborn. Fire and ice here. This is fire. This is ice. Lillian, oh my gosh. She's an American. She is a character, as they say. She's not going to be deterred by anybody. But Marcus, he's a very strong man. He's not just going to let her have her way. These two bounce off each other. That sounded wrong. These two fight each other until they just can't fight it anymore. So much fun. I love the series. I especially like the updated version that you can get through audio. This one has a little issue with consent in this physical book. I'm glad Lisa Kleypas updated it, but that's my aside. Little interesting factoid there for you. This, by the way, is book 2 of the fabulous Wallflower series. Speaking of Lisa Kleypas, Married by Morning, this is book 4 of the Hathaway series. I love this book so much. I can't even tell you. We have Leo and Catherine. They have been fighting not only in this book, but for several books before then. So this rivalry has been going on for a while. He's so full of himself. Actually, he's still nursing a broken heart. And she has a secret that he is wanting to uncover. But she doesn't want to be told what to do. He loves to tell her. He loves to rile her up. And man, is it fun to watch. The way they fall for one another so hard, so great. I love it. I can't say it enough. Seduced by a Highlander. I don't have a physical copy of that, so I'm just going to tell you about it and put the picture up here. Paula Quinn. Oh my goodness. This is book 3 of the Children of the Mist series. I fell so hard for Tristan. I mean hard. I don't think there is a Highlander out there that's hotter than Tristan McGregor. The authors even mentioned that she has a crush on her own character. He goes to try to right her wrong. These people hate his guts. They're from a rival clan. The rivalry has gone on for a long time, and it isn't about to change just because Tristan wants to make amends. He's injured. They sort of take care of him, but at the same time, it's sort of like the movie Home Alone in terms of way over the top injuries that continuously befall Tristan, and he just takes it, and he takes it because he feels like he deserves it. He's a great man. She's a fiery lass. And when they finally get together, sparks fly and then some. It was spicy. It was fun as all get out, although, as I said, a little over the top, but still a very fun rivals to lovers romance, especially if you're in the mood for Highlander. We haven't talked about fantasy at all. The Ippis King, it's part of the Radiance series. I love Grace Draven. I love everything she's written. The Ippis King is no exception. These two characters have hated each other for the entire series, but now they're forced to work together. There are some crazy fantasy-related things that happen. I don't want to give too much away in case you want to read it, but it was intense. Not only the adventure and the peril, but also the love. I loved seeing them finally get to come together. She hates him more than he hates her, but he definitely falls first. Yet another one of those, right? Anyway, I highly recommend this enemies to lovers fantasy romance. Although I do recommend you read the other books in the series first, if you were thinking about it. I have not even talked about alien romance. Can you believe it? Here is book 6 of the Ice Planet Barbarian series. I just got it. It was released at the end of July and I pre-ordered it. And so it just arrived at my door one day and it was like a beautiful little present. Haydn and Josie hate one another, but they are forced to work together until they finally resonate, aka get married, sort of. This was so much fun. Most of these feature the cinnamon roll heroes where they can't say or do anything that isn't the sweetest thing ever. So to see an enemies to lovers romance isn't quite as common in an Ice Planet Barbarian series book, which I think is one reason why it was all the more fun. But I loved seeing the two of them work together and him win her over. It was just so fun. Well, those were my recs. That was insanely fun. I think that was 16 books, actually. I had a blast. I hope you did too. What's your favorite enemies to lovers? Don't forget to see the other booktubers in my description box for their recommendations for enemies to lovers books. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying whatever you're reading, regardless of what trope it is. Until next time, thanks so much. Take care. Bye.